Did you find any clues? Asked Charlie, letting his arms drop back down by his sides. Or did he vanish without a trace? Clearly, Alice wasn't the only one with a flair for the dramatic. I found a paw print on the windowsill in my room, she reported. Anything else? Charlie asked. Alice thought for a minute. I heard a noise, she said, in the middle of the night. I thought maybe I dreamed it. What kind of a noise? Alice closed her eyes and tried to remember what she had heard. I think there were some thumps, and I'm pretty sure there was a hiss, she said. Anything else? asked Charlie. A clink, said Alice. There was definitely a clink. Charlie took off his cap and started scratching his head. A glass kind of a clink or a metal kind of a clink? He asked. Metal, I think. Interesting. Does Lardo wear a collar or a bell around his neck? Nope. Do you have any Venetian blinds on your window or a window shade with a metal pull on it? Nope. Charlie's eyes got very wide. Maybe it was aliens, he said. Maybe they landed their tiny little metal spaceship on your windowsill, then they zapped Lardo with a shrinking ray gun and took him off to their planet to do scientific experiments on him. Are you serious? Alice asked. Not really, but I did see a UFO once, or at least I think I did. It might have been a cloud, said Charlie. What do you think Sky King would do if his cat ran away and the only clues he had to go on were some thumps, a hiss, and a clink? Alice asked Charlie. I don't think Sky King has a cat, he said. That's not the point, Alice told him. What I mean is, if Sky King was here right now, what do you think he would do? I think he'd offer to come over to your house and try to help you figure out what made those sounds, said Charlie. Then he grinned and patted his stomach. I also think he might wonder if you were going to offer him something for lunch when you got there. Do you like cream cheese and olive sandwiches? Alice asked. Charlie wrinkled his nose. Got anything else? Peanut butter and jelly. Now you're talking. Alice had never invited a boy over to her house for lunch before, but if Charlie Erdling was willing to help her look for Lardo, the least she could do was give him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Let's go, she said, heading for the stairs. Charlie hesitated. Shouldn't we call the police first? He asked. To report the break-in? There was no phone in the pie shop anymore. Polly had decided to have it disconnected. Anyone who wants to talk to me is welcome to stop by the shop for a slice of pie and some chit-chat, she always said. We can call the police from my house, Alice said. Charlie hesitated again. Maybe we should bring your auntie's medals with us, he suggested, in case the burglar changes his mind and decides to come back for them. They must be pretty valuable, being gold and all. He had a point, so Alice gathered up the medals, put them back in the cardboard box, and carried it downstairs. See, even I make mistakes sometimes. Downstairs. They locked the door from the inside and pulled it closed. Then Charlie retrieved his bike from behind the pie shop, and the two of them headed off together towards Alice's house. As it turned out, there was no need to call the police, because as Alice and Charlie rode past the parsonage, they saw Chief Decker sitting on the sun porch with Reverend Flowers drinking iced tea and shooting the breeze. A parsonage is basically like, I think, the center of town or a small town. Before the kids could even finish telling them what had happened at the pie shop, the chief had jumped into his cruiser and raced off with the siren wailing. Alice took the same route home, which meant that she and Charlie had to ride past the Needleman's house. Hey, look, said Charlie, pointing. There's Nora. Nora had put away her jump rope and was lying on a blanket in the front yard, sunbathing in her bathing suit. So what? Said Alice. So nothing, Charlie responded. Had Alice been paying attention, she would have seen that the tips of Charlie Erdling's ears had turned bright pink. But she was too busy thinking about Lardo to notice Charlie's ears or the big green Chevrolet that was parked across the street from the Andersons' house when Charlie and Alice arrived. And that's the end of chapter 5. So the one thing that I've been noticing in all the chapters that I've been reading is that there are a lot of idioms and little catchphrases. So if you notice any of those little idioms or catchphrases, make sure you put them in the comments that you heard them, because they are fascinating little things to hear. I'm trying to find one right now, but I am not. So like a phrase like better safe than sorry. That's an idiom, okay? So I know my 5th graders know that, but maybe my 4th graders don't know that yet. So listen for those little funny phrases that are idioms, or they sound a little interesting to you, or you think like, I've heard that one before. So you know an idiom is something that's used frequently, like the early bird catches the worm. So many of you have probably heard that one before. That means if you get up early, you're the one who's going to find all the worms in the ground if you're a bird. So anytime you arrive early for something, you get the best choice. And that's what that means. So listen for those little phrases, put them in the comments, because I love to see that you're listening. And just tell me what you think. Make sure you comment, because I like to know that somebody's listening to all these read-alouds, okay? All right, kids, I'll see you for the next chapter. Bye. And if you haven't noticed, we've been posting the chapters on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. All right? So we'll see you next time. Bye.